been valiant men. In the last 150 to 160 years of American history, we've called a lot of that group of people cowboys. You don't have a lot of places where you can look and see that American spirit, where you see it as vividly as you see it in the American cowboy.
Ken is a man of character, and he's always put family first.
Faith and family, it's just who he is, and he's just committed to it. And he loves horses, he loves people, and he travels a lot, but his faith and his family all come first.
I don't remember falling in love with horses. It's just something that has been a part of me my whole life. As a very young child, my dad and mom had a very small piece of property in the center of a large pasture that belonged to the Tillett family on the TX Ranch just north of Lovell, Wyoming. My earliest memories are of sitting up on the Red Rock ledges watching those horses. And I really believe that that is a lot of where the understanding that I have of horses comes from the hours of observation of watching horses work.
One of the most distinctive things about Ken is he definitely functions well as a teacher, instructor, coach, but he won't leave it at that. He cares about people, and you can sit down with Ken and talk about the rest of your life, and he'll take an interest. Down underneath all of the horsemanship is a guy who cares about other people, for real.
Growing up horseback my whole life and never not being without horses. As I came into my teenage years, cowboying and ranching were all I ever wanted to do. So at 14, I started training horses for the general public. A man that went to our church, an older gentleman, Hank Sifford, he had been in the horse industry all his life. He had been in race horses, he'd been in high-end performance horses. He gave me 2 pieces of literature, Horse Training Science, phenomenal book, taught me a ton, but he also gave me a pirated copy of the Farnham-produced John Lyons video round pen reasoning. And that video changed my life. I'd watch that video for 5 minutes and then I'd go out and work the horse, and I'd watch the video for 5 minutes and work the horse and rewind and back and forth until I could duplicate what was happening on the video. That process taught me a lot about horses, taught me a lot about learning and understanding the horse, but it also introduced me to the world of natural horsemanship, which up until that point was not a concept that I even began to have. And I started on that path of studying horses my whole life. So I signed up for clinics that John taught. I spent the next couple of years in the back seat of his pickup going down the road and virtually living with him, learning from him. And I couldn't have asked for a better mentor, better friend, better guide. I love the whole family. And so it just gave me a very solid trajectory.
My family met the McNabb family, I think about 15 years ago. For my grandpa's 60th birthday party, the family wanted to find something that could incorporate the whole large family into an event that Grandpa would enjoy. So my dad found an advertisement for a fairly local horseman named Ken McNabb out of Lovell, Wyoming. He found that advertisement in a John Lyons magazine that I had been reading, and he thought, well, let's try this. We'll do a horsemanship clinic for Grandpa's 60th birthday party. Poor Ken probably had no idea what he was getting himself into. Ken actually came to our place for a week and was so patient and so great at entertaining a very large family of small children for an entire week. So that's how we first met, and things really have grown from there.
There are 4 generations living and working here on the ranch, and we bought this in 2007.
The Diamond McNabb Ranch Horse Sale is a partnership between Ken McNabb and Diamond Land and Livestock. We've been doing it for about 13 and a half years now, and typically we sell 80 to 90 horses each spring.
The story about the partnership started in the Beartooth Mountains during 3 days of a violent summer storm, and we were on a pack trip with he and his family, and we were confined to the tents. So oldest son Kip, who's Haley's dad, and Ken got to talking, and Kip turned to Ken and said, what do you want to do with your life? You're a good trainer, what do you want to do? And Ken said, I've always wanted to have a horse sale.
I always had this daydream of breeding my own horses instead of trying to go buy them. Like, wouldn't it be cool if you know how to produce a good horse, to have your own venue, to sell them to other horsemen, to people who are learning, growing, or need a nicely finished product?
So out of that, this Diamond McNabb Ranch Horse Sale was conceived. So I think our first sale was in 2009.
We have an effective business partnership, but we've also become family friends.
For the True family to have been graced with the last name True is just one of those most fitting things in the world, because they're truly real people. They are true people. They are so genuine and so kind and so loving and so caring of all those around them. They have created this culture. And so in building the Diamond McNabb Ranch Horse program, that was what they brought to the partnership as much as anything. I brought a knowledge of horsemanship and a reputation and a following, a crowd, an audience, but they brought a 1950s style, trustworthy, dependable. To give you this example, we have a $1 million sale every year. There's not a signed piece of paper anywhere.
For me personally, I have learned so much from Ken McNabb and from his horsemanship. It was such an enormous gift to me to have Ken kind of step in, take me under his wing, and really raise me up in skills and in life. I think one of Ken's unique strengths in the industry is that he's a very talented and very accomplished horse trainer, but he's also very relatable. I think his approachability and his down-to-earth nature, in addition to his skill level and his talent, is something that really makes him a superior horseman and a superior teacher in the industry.
Road to the Horse is the evidence of the last 40 years of people studying and trying to change the horse industry as we know it.
Road to the Horse is a competitive colt starting event. You have a very limited window of time in which you're able to work with a colt that has never been halter broke, never been saddled, never been ridden. So each competitor is out in the arena side by side amidst their peers who are working on the same program.
In 2008, when I went to Road to the Horse the first time, I coined this phrase, and that is no regrets horsemanship. We're not going to do anything here this weekend we're embarrassed by. We're not going to do anything here this weekend that we feel bad about. We're not going to do anything here this weekend that we have to apologize for, or that we have to apologize to the horse for. I've been there 3 times, and it has been a privilege and an honor each time. Definitely the highest accolade type honor of my life.
In the Road to the Horse format, I think one of the things that sets Ken apart and makes him unique is that he's started everything from Mustangs to backyard ponies to working ranch horses. So he does have a lot of breadth of experience, and I think possibly the thing that makes him most unique in that environment is his ranching cowboy background.
So when we went to Road to the Horse this year, I'm looking at all of these horses now in person. And this guy came up to me and he said, "What do you think of that horse?" And it just came out of my mouth. I just said, "He's a dandy, I love him." And then I just stopped and I said, "You know what? I just named him." I absolutely love that horse. And so I got the horse.
I think it's awesome that Ken was able to buy Dandy his Road to the Horse colt and bring him back to the ranch to work with him. And knowing all of his backstory and his history of being started in a competitive environment, and then being able to get well-rounded in the ranch work and in Ken's day-to-day life is going to be really fun to see where they come out.
I have a long list of people who have already said, "I want that horse." And to be very honest with you, I don't know if I'll ever sell him. There's nothing about him that I would change. He's a really neat horse with a big heart, a huge desire to work for you, to work with you. He just has a natural desire to love people. Horsemanship is, throughout the ages, kind of been a secret, and it should never have been a secret. It should always have been something that was available to the masses. I'm not going to give up cowboying, I'm not going to give up ranching. I love cattle, I love horses, but helping people understand their horses is what I'm going to do my whole life. Arriving at this point where people start referring to you as a horseman is a lifelong marathon. To go back to that 14-year-old kid who wanted to study horses. That 14-year-old kid turned into an 18-year-old kid who was working on ranches for $800 a month. That kid was an $800 cowboy, and that's who he still is. To this day, if you want to know who I am, I'm that $800 cowboy who has spent my whole life studying horses.